Hi everyone, here are 6 licks that will blow your mind, but are actually pretty easy to play. Here's lick number 1. Cool, so all these licks are based on pretty easy and basic techniques, but then turned into something more difficult. So the basic technique is not that hard, or the basic pattern is pretty easy, but I'm going to show you how you can take something easy and make it into something extraordinary. So for this lick I was just using a simple rake technique in the key of C sharp. So I played C sharp minor pentatonic on the on fret 9, position 9, and I'm just playing the rake like this. My index finger does a little roll, sort of mini arpeggio or a mini sweep. It doesn't have to be too neat or too precise, and that's the fun thing about this lick. So we do the rake, and then a pull off and hammer on the D string from 11 to 9 and back to 11. But no pick involved, just hammer-ons and pull-offs. So the rake. Before we do that, we add a little hammer-on from 9 to 11 on the G string. So it's the hammer-on, then the rake, pull-off, hammer-on, and then we repeat it. And now we can take that same concept, that same little lick, and move it across the strings in just the pentatonic, minor pentatonic pattern. That's lick number 1. Here's lick number 2. So this is lick number 2, and I noticed I was cheating whilst playing this lick, and I noticed that while writing down the tab, which is available at my Patreon page, by the way, if you want to read along. But I noticed playing it slowly, I was just not picking something I thought I was, but turns out I wasn't. So this little lick is based on one simple pattern, which is like this: 8 and 5. Picking down and up. And now comes the tricky part: 8 and 5 on the B string. So G and E. But the thing is, I'm not picking the B string at all. I didn't know I did that, but I just didn't. So it's just a tap basically, and a pull off. So 8, you tap the string with your ring finger and you pull off to E, to fret 5. So you only pick the high E string down and up, and the rest is just a pull off and hammer on. It's super easy. And you can move that same thing just up the strings in A minor pentatonic. 10 and 8 and 10 and 8. And playing it in this technique. And you can bend that first note just slightly to make it sound a little more bluesy. Cool. Alright, here's lick number 3. So that might sound pretty extraordinary, but the technique is actually super easy, and you can turn it into something sounding magical like this. But let me just show you the technique and how easy it actually is. So for the sound, I'm using quite some compression to level out the notes. We're not picking anything. I'm just tapping the notes I want to hear. So for this case, let's say we want to play an A minor chord. Why not? Very good chord. I'm playing fret 5 on the E string, the low E string, and I'm just tapping that note with my index finger. And now we hear the note, right? So now my ring finger is playing the 5th on top, which is an E, fret 7 on the A string. Now we got a power chord. So it's the fundament for an A chord, which is perfect to play a low in the chord because it doesn't clash. Sounds Sounds nice and balanced. And now we add like the juiciness of the chord. Let's first play an 8 again, fret 10 on the B string, and then fret 10 on the D string. And if you play these after each other, first fret 5 on the E, fret 7 on A, fret 10 on B, fret 10 on D. So you can just play any chord you want if you find the right notes. Finding the right notes can be tricky if you don't know theory or if you can't find chords all over the neck, but just let me show you some examples. F, G, A minor, D minor, E. That's fun to play. And then you can just play around with that technique. Here's lick number 4. So this one is actually pretty fun to play, and I do this all the time, this technique, and it's pretty easy. So what I do, I slide up and down really quickly, right after each other. So for this example, I started on fret 9 on the G string, and I'm thinking in D, so in the key of D major, or a D blues kind of thing. So I'm sliding up from 9 to 10, and then immediately back down. So I'm only picking it once, right? Down, sorry, up and down. And then immediately after that, a pull off to fret 7. So it's just one pick for 4 notes. So how cool is that? And the bigger thing, I made it extraordinary by just moving it up string and a string again. So on G, and then the same notes, or the same frets I should say, on the D string, and then the same frets on the A string, and then ending on a D chord. So this is a little bit bluesy because you're playing that minor third on top, and then to a basically Mixolydian sound, and then the same, just a major scale, and then to D. So in total, slowly. Yeah. You can do the same, you can move it up, or you can play around with bending instead of sliding. Or combine. Alright, that's lick number 4. Let's go to lick number 5. Alright, this is a fun little diminished lick. And diminished, we can use diminished in so many ways, but for this example I'm playing it over an A7, so an A dominant 7th chord, or an A altered chord, which leads back to that D chord, so the 5th degree in the key of D. C sharp over here, fret 6 on the G string, and then fret 5 on the B string, fret 3 on the high E string, and then fret 6 on the high E string. And how we play it like this: ring, middle, index, and then our pinky. You can also use your ring finger for that, but I prefer my pinky. It's down, 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 pick like a mini sweep, down, 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 and then up immediately. And then we do a pull off from 6 to 3, and then to 5, back, which is picked in an upward direction. So this can be any of these notes diminished, like it can be C sharp, it can be E, it can be G, or it can be A sharp, or B flat, depends on the context, because it's all stacked minor thirds. So there is no root basically. You can choose whatever sounds good in the song. Or you can see it as a diminished scale, playing from like A dominant So what I do, I play this pattern, and now I'm repeating the same exact thing, but now 3 frets higher. And if I were to name the notes right now, it's exactly the same. It's minor third on minor third on minor third on minor third on minor third, and so on. So if we move the entire chord a minor third up 3 frets, we have exactly the same notes. Wow, how cool. And then we move the same thing up to fret 12, to fret 15, to fret 18, and then I'm ending on D to give it that nice resolved sound. So slowly. Awesome. Up to speed. And here's the final lick, lick number 6. Alright, it's, well, depends on how fast your fingers are, but the idea is again super easy. It's based on the 3 note per string patterns. In this case, A minor or C major. I'm playing from the C up, so fret 8 on the low E string, and just doing hammer on. So it's basically all legato-y. Fret 8 to 10 to 12. Just one pick and then hammer-ons. So I'm doing the same thing, one string down. 8, 10, 12. So C, D, E, F, G, A. And now we can move the same patterns up the strings again, just following the C major scale in a 3 note per string fashion, like and then to 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12 on G as well, 10, 12, 13 on B, 10, 12, 13 on E. That's it. And now we can also move up and down again, like playing 3 up and then 1 down again. And then I'm finishing with 12, 13, 15 on B, 12, 13, 15 on E. So in total, slowly. Fast. C major, that was lick number 6. I hope you enjoyed this little mini lesson on how to make easy licks extraordinary. And the tabs are available at my Patreon page. If you like this video, please gently touch that like button. To show your support and appreciation, please leave a comment as well. And also, I've been working on a new guitar course. It's called Next Level Playing. I've got a sneak peek up right now at nextlevelplaying.com. Check it out. I'm excited to hear what you think, and I think it's going to help a lot of intermediate players out there. It's pretty awesome, if I say myself. Have a wonderful day. See you next time. This was Paul. Bye.